Bill Nye, the science guy, has kept people hooked for years with his cool facts and insights about the universe. He really gets us all excited about space. Recently, Bill had some cool stuff to say about the James Webb Space Telescope images. They show us what things looked like over 13 billion years ago, when the universe was brand new. These pics have totally changed how we think about everything. The telescope is already helping us learn a ton about planets, galaxies, all sorts of space stuff. It's a huge step up from the Hubble telescope. So, what's so great about these new telescope images? How do they mess with what we thought we knew? And what's Bill Nye's take on all this? Well, NASA scientists and engineers worked their tails off for years to build this thing. It launched on Christmas Day in 2021, and things went super smooth. By mid-2022, researchers were finding tons of new galaxies, way older and farther away than anything we'd ever seen. Some might have formed like 150 million years after the Big Bang, even before Hubble's oldest galaxy. Plus, the telescope can grab light from distant stars, planets, all that stuff. It's crazy useful for figuring out what these things are made of and how they move. Bill Nye says the information we're getting is giving us insane details about the air around planets light years away. Scientists are now wondering if there could be life on these planets, just like here. Those pillars of creation Hubble took pictures of? Those huge things in the Eagle Nebula? The telescope saw those too, but because it sees in infrared, it saw stars forming inside the dusty gas clouds. They look like little red dots, but they're way bigger than our whole solar system. Bill Nye says these stars aren't burning hydrogen yet but are getting more stuff pulled into them, so they're getting denser and hotter. When they start burning hydrogen, boom! Temperatures go up to 2 million degrees. The telescope's infrared cameras show us how two different colors mean different wavelengths of infrared light. Blue shows where stars are forming. Red shows radiation from those baby stars at wavelengths way longer than what we can see. Bill says this awesome image shows us how stars, like our sun, are made. We first found planets outside our solar system back in the 90s, and now we've found over 3,000. But we've only seen, like, 1,000 of them directly. Most are so far away that we can only see them by the light they block from their stars. This one planet, HIP 65426b, was found in 2017, and it was the first one the telescope ever got a direct picture of. To do it, scientists blocked the star's light with something called a coronagraph, used special filters, and different cameras. This planet is super far from its star, almost 100 times the distance between Earth and the Sun. It's gigantic, too, almost 12 times bigger than Jupiter. And there's the ghost galaxy. It's hard to see with your eyes, but it's bright in infrared pics. The spiral shape in stars show up in regular pictures, but the telescope's infrared cameras see heat coming from dust and gas. They look like blue streaks and show us where stars are forming in the galaxy's arms. The Webb and Hubble teamed up to make an awesome picture of the ghost galaxy, with both regular and infrared views. Scientists at the European Space Agency, ESA, made the picture as part of a project where they're using Webb, Hubble, and other telescopes to study 19 galaxies nearby. The telescope sees longer infrared light better than anyone, so astronomers can see where stars are forming, figure out how big and old star groups are, and check out dust floating around in space. Here's another cool thing. The telescope took a picture of a star way far away called WR140. It made a weird pattern that the telescope could see, but the star also had these wavy rings around it. These are usually seen on huge stars getting old. These stars shoot out a bunch of hydrogen, which makes the rings. Because WR140 has a smaller star nearby, the rings form in that wavy pattern. The telescope is also looking for the oldest galaxies in the universe. Researchers said they found 4 of the oldest ones ever, from 13.4 billion years ago. Back then, the universe was only 350 million years old, or like 2% of how old it is now. Scientists were able to prove how old they were with the telescope's amazing cameras. Finally, the telescope has been checking out a planet in the Virgo group. It's called WASP 39b and is about 700 light-years away. It's super close to its star, way closer than Mercury is to our Sun. This planet is huge, about the size of Saturn, and has a thick, cloudy atmosphere with sulfur and silicates, like sulfur dioxide. Using the telescope, scientists found dioxide in the planet's air, which is awesome for learning what these planets' atmospheres are made of. Basically, the telescope will help us learn a ton more. It's giving us a better look at galaxies, stars, planets, all that stuff. We can see farther back in time and deeper into the universe than ever before. With every new picture, we're getting closer to answering those big questions, like where we came from, where we fit in, and if there's anyone else out there. In the future, the telescope keeps sending us information. It will keep making our models of the evolution of the universe more precise. It will help us to study about the formation of galaxies, the lifespan of the stars, and the conditions of where life can be. Telescope's effect is already enormous on the space and promises to change the understanding of the space of the future. As Bill Nye said, Telescope Look into the Space has opened a new chapter in the history of the space exploration. The discoveries are expanding the ability of the space that also will challenge the limits that we thought it was possible. Every discovery are showing more for discovering. As scientists are waiting for what is the new revolutionary from the telescope, if they are watching the birth of the stars and the atmospheric planets and study about the galaxies that can know the secrets of what has happened in the past so the people will know more what is out there. The telescope is a game changer. Its fancy tools and tech let scientists push the limits of what we know about space. It's opening up new areas of knowledge and showing us things we couldn't see before. Every new thing we find with telescope shows how smart we are and how much we want to learn about what is out there. The telescope's info will continue to change to alter what we see the universe. This also has the chances for discovering other external for seeing their external, with other great seeing the new conditions like Earth. Seeing there is much more in what is happening in the universe with there is not just the stars and they will have another over a time. The telescope is also the extremes in other universes. With knowing the stuff researchers will have they understand how the energy is. What's even more amazing is that we're just getting started. The info collected by the telescope will look at for more time and there is much in what is there. Those pillars of creation pics from Hubble were iconic. The Webb telescope, using infrared, has shown us clusters of stars forming inside those gas clouds. These protostars are like little red dots, but way bigger than our solar system. Bill Nye adds that these stars aren't burning hydrogen yet, but as they suck in more stuff they get denser, and then boom, hydrogen fusion kicks in. The Webb telescope's infrared is key here, showing different infrared wavelengths in blue and red. The blue spots are where stars form, and the red is radiation from protostars. Exoplanets, planets outside our solar system, were found in the 90s, and we've found over 3,000 now. But we've only directly seen about 1,000 of them. Most are too far to see directly, so we just see their stars dimming. One planet, HIP 654226b, was first spotted in 2017 and was the first exoplanet the Webb telescope directly imaged. They blocked out the star's light with a coronagraph, and with some fancy filters and cameras, they got a clear shot. This planet is super far from its star, and it's a huge gas giant, way bigger than Jupiter. And the ghost galaxy? It's hard to see with the naked eye, but infrared shows it up. You can see the spiral shape in stars in regular pictures, but the Webb telescope's infrared shows heat, white dust, and gas coming from the galaxy's core. They look like electric blue streaks, giving us a new look at where stars are being born. The Webb and Hubble telescopes teamed up to make a killer picture of the ghost galaxy, showing both regular and infrared views. Webb's good at seeing longer infrared, so astronomers can find star-forming zones, measure star cluster sizes and ages, and check out tiny dust particles floating around. Another cool picture shows a distant star, WR140. It's thousands of light years away and made a cool diffraction pattern. But there were also weird wavy rings around it, typical for huge stars near the end of their lives. These stars, called Wolf-Rayet stars, spit out a lot of hydrogen, making those rings. WR140 and a smaller star are interacting, which is why the rings are wavy. The Webb telescope is also looking for the oldest galaxies. They found 4 that are 13.4 billion years old. The universe was only 350 million years old back then, like 2% of its current age. Scientists think these are some of the oldest, and the Webb telescope helped them nail down their age. Finally, the Webb telescope has been checking out an exoplanet in Virgo. It's called WASP 39b, it's about 700 light-years away, and it's super close to its star. It's a big gas giant with a thick, cloudy atmosphere full of sulfur and silicates, including sulfur dioxide. Scientists found carbon dioxide in its atmosphere, which is great for figuring out what exoplanet atmospheres are made of. Basically, the Webb telescope is going to help us learn a ton more. It's giving us a better look at galaxies, stars, planets, and space itself. We can see farther back in time and deeper into the universe's secrets. With each new picture and info, we're getting closer to answering those big questions about where we came from, where we fit in, and if we're alone. The Webb telescope's impact on astronomy is already huge, and it'll change how we see space for years to come. Like Bill Nye says, it's opened up a new time in space exploration. We're not just learning more about the cosmos, we're changing what we thought was possible. There's so much more to find, and the Webb telescope is leading the charge. The James Webb Space Telescope can see distant stuff like never before, which is a total game changer. With its cool instruments, it's letting scientists push the boundaries of space exploration. It's opening up new areas of knowledge and showing us things we couldn't see before. Every new discovery is a win for the tech that made it and for our urge to understand the universe. The world's watching as the Webb telescope sends back awesome pictures and data, giving us answers to questions we've had forever. And we're just getting started. The data will be studied for years, and each bit could totally change how we see the universe. One of the big things is that Webb can find exoplanets and study them in ways we couldn't imagine. It can see into their atmospheres, check their chemicals, and see if they could support life. This is big for the search for alien life, because we can now find planets that might be like Earth. Webb's also giving us a close-up look at how stars are born and how galaxies grow. By watching this, we're learning how the universe started and how it keeps changing. Webb can see infrared light, which is often blocked by dust, so it can see through the cosmic fog and show us the hidden stuff that shapes our universe. This helps us see how stars are born, how galaxies form, and how they affect each other. The Webb telescope is also helping us study the craziest places in the universe, like black holes and supernovas. By checking out these things, we can learn about the basic rules of physics and how stuff acts in extreme conditions. Webb's views of black holes, for example, could tell us how these weird things warp spacetime and interact with their surroundings. The insights from studying supernovas could show us how stars live and die and tell us how the heavy stuff that's vital for life is made. As Webb keeps making discoveries, it's also getting a new generation psyched about science, engineering, and exploration. The awesome pictures and data remind us how cool human ingenuity is and how important it is to explore. The Webb telescope isn't just for getting data, it's proof of our unending curiosity and our drive to understand the universe. The discoveries are not just growing our knowledge of space, they're increasing what we think is possible, and they're opening up new doors for space exploration. As scientists keep looking at the data from the Webb telescope, it's clear that we're just starting a super time in astronomy. The discoveries in the next few years could change how we see the cosmos in ways we can't even guess. The Webb telescope is setting us up for a new age of exploration, where we keep pushing back the edges of what we know and finding new stuff. Do you want to zoom in on a certain part of the Webb telescope's findings or a specific discovery?